Mwah. I'm a triple certified makeup artist. I've studied in Los Angeles and I've learned from a lot of higher up people, Academy Award, Emmy Award winners in makeup and hair. Yeah, I love what I do. I use high end makeup, a very professional makeup. A lot of the brands that I use, the average person would never hear of because it's mainly used on with professional people, with people who work on movie sets and things like that. I originally went to LA to study makeup to do movies, and I fell in love with a handsome man in Yosemite National Park, and we got married, and this is where we made our home. So he's worked in Yosemite for over 10 years, and yeah, and so this is, the universe has a way of showing you where you need to be sometimes, and I'm really happy that we landed in Yosemite. I love it. I love our life in Yosemite. I love my bridal clients, and I'm very happy and honored to be the Yosemite National Park vendor for makeup and hair. Very much so. I love it. Well, that perhaps the services are cheap when actually makeup and hair on location beauty services are a luxury service. Basically, you want to find an artist that does makeup or hair in a way that you love. If you wouldn't want to hire someone who does really dramatic eyes and if you want natural makeup. So, yeah, that's one thing. Not every makeup artist is the same. We all have talents. We can all do different kinds of looks, but sometimes it helps when you look at websites, make sure they have a website and it shows their work and that you love their work. Another good thing to know is if the makeup artist is local to where you're getting married at, because if they're not, they have to travel in, and no matter what, even if it's local or if they have to travel in, always expect to pay a traveling fee because you're requiring someone to come to you. It's on location beauty services, so there's always going to be a traveling fee involved. It's always a good idea to read reviews, and look for current reviews. Check the date of the review because that's really going to tell you what the person is like currently. Yeah, I always recommend reading reviews. Well, as far as safety goes, you always want to make sure that everything is sterile and that disposables are being used. You want to make sure that it's a reputable business and that they have a large living portfolio that their clients love. Happy clients speak and testify to any kind of safety. So if you're looking at someone and they have happy clients, then that speaks to the safety. Well, put it this way, brides spend thousands and thousands of dollars on their wedding day. And more often than not, people are looking at her face more than her dress or her gown, especially the groom. So you can't put a price tag on your ultimate beauty vision for your wedding day. Remember, your wedding day, you have one shot to get it right. You want to hire the right people who know what they're doing and that are going to make you a happy customer. The bottom line, you always get what you pay for. So what should you expect to pay? Well, how important is it to you? Is it important that people are using drugstore makeup, or if they're using, like me, I use makeup from that are used on movie sets, because I know it's long lasting and it's just wonderful. It looks beautiful in person and in photography, and my clients love it. So yeah, it just depends on you. Frankly, it's a bad idea. It's always a bad idea because a person like myself I've devoted my life to doing makeup artistry and hair services for bridal, and especially in the Yosemite area. So it's considered an insult, to my profession, which costs a lot of money to study, costs a lot of money to survive as a makeup artist. Makeup is not cheap. And again, how can you put a price tag on your happiness? How I clean and sanitize and sterilize my makeup and my brushes and everything. In almost 10 years, in over 9 years of being in business, I recently got a question about how I clean things from a potential bridal client. And once I was so excited because I've never gotten that question before in 9 years. So I went very thoroughly with her over how I clean everything. And by the end of our phone call, she was like, "I'm sold. Let's book my wedding." and I booked her wedding, and I did her wedding, and it was a lot of fun. When it comes to cleanliness, about your own makeup kits, any professional makeup artist should be able to tell you what they use. And like the client I was just speaking of who hired me, she asked another makeup artist before she called me how she cleaned her kit. And she said with soap and water. And that's all she said. And so that was a red flag to this particular client. And yeah, you just, got to know your stuff and take pride in your work. Take pride in keeping that kit clean and making sure your clients are healthy and safe, and they could go to their honeymoon and not break out with acne and stuff like that. It's very important, and it's so much more. My services that I provide, they're so much more than just your wedding day. I'm thinking about your honeymoon. I'm thinking about everything, so it's a lot, and I'm very knowledgeable. I've been doing this a long time. This is my full-time gig. I own this business, and I do weddings and elopements and engagement photo shoots for a living, and I love it. And I have a lot of knowledge when it comes, especially in Yosemite, because that's where I'm based out of. I do Yosemite National Park weddings and elopements and engagement photo shoots for a living. That's what I do. I do makeup and hair for those things, for those clients. And so, yeah, I'd love to be a part of your day. Hire me. Hire me. You'll be happy. I book one client per calendar date. So yeah, I book one service, and it keeps me focused on that one client because I don't have another wedding to do. I don't have another elopement or another photo shoot. You are my only client for that day. And it's a customer service thing, We want you to be happy, and we want to just focus on you. It is a pampering service, and it's very high end. It's very luxury. And so we're devoted to making you happy on that day. And we have nowhere else to go. So if there are changes that need to be made, we absolutely have the time to do that. But to be honest, we never do changes because people are very happy with our work. But if they need to be changes, we have time to do that. Yeah, so that's how you could be a happy customer, by hiring us. We put our heart into it. And when I say we, I work with an assistant. My assistant happens to be my husband, and he's been my professional assistant for 10 years now, almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years in May of 2020. So depending on when you're seeing this video. But yeah, so we work on a first come, first served basis. So yeah, as soon as someone turns in their contract and a 50% deposit, or a full deposit if your date is within 30 days of hiring us, then you get the date, because like I stated before, we only work with, we call it gig, 1 gig per day, one wedding, one whatever. So yeah, so it's simple to book us. We email you a contract, you fill it out, you email it back, and you make a deposit via PayPal, and that's it. Once we have those two things, you have the date. Yes. You know what? Every year around October, November, December, January, those months, especially October, November, December, ton of last minute. This week alone, let me think. In the past 2 weeks, I've booked 4 weddings that all take place within 30 days. So yeah, one bride booked me for 2 days later. I had a bride, I had a record breaker this year. I had a bride who booked me at 10:30 at night to be there the very next morning. I think it was an 8 a.m. arrival time, something like that, yeah. So, yeah, the very next day, I mean hours, within hours, like less than 12 hours away. So yeah, it happens a lot. I love it. It keeps me on my toes. It's very exciting. And I love that you're in need of my services. I love to be there for you and just to, take all that stress away and make your day be smooth. And our goal for you is that you're happy. You're happy customers, you're a happy bride, and we do all we can to make that happen. Well, we did a wedding at the Ahwahnee Hotel in Yosemite National Park on the same day that President Barack Obama was in Yosemite. So we actually had to go through Secret Service and bomb sniffing dogs and all sorts of stuff. We did our research. My arrival time wasn't until like 10 a.m. I want to say, but I did research and found out that they were closing down the Ahwahnee Hotel parking lot at 8 a.m. They weren't letting anyone else in, but if you got there before 8 a.m., you could park in the parking lot. And because that's where the president was staying. He was staying at the hotel, and so was all his Secret Service people. So it was locked down. So in order to get there, they had mirrors. They were shining underneath our vehicle when we were pulling in. It was a big deal. But we got there. We got there on time, before time. And yeah, we got everyone ready. And it was kind of crazy because some of the bridesmaids weren't staying at that hotel where the bride was and where everyone was getting ready at. They were staying at another hotel, and they had shut down the roads. And so the bridesmaids had to hike in the wilderness to get to the hotel to get their hair and makeup done and to be a part of the wedding. And we got everyone done on time. The wedding started on time. And a fun little kicker, they invited the president to their wedding. I don't think he was able to make it, but they invited him, which was really cool. Well, yeah, thank you so much. This was fun. I really appreciate it. People can reach me at mbymickie.com. So it's mbymickie.com. And I'm also on Instagram, where I show a lot of my work, and a lot of professional photos of my clients are on Instagram, and also Facebook at mbymickie. Everything's at mbymickie. And yeah, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and my website. The best way to reach me if you're interested in booking me is through my website. So mbymickie.com, and if you go to the contact page, there's a form to fill out, which is really important, extremely helpful because I get a lot of inquiries. So this tells me exactly what I need to know in order to get back to you and let you know if I have the date available and if I'm able to help you on that day. And yeah, I get back to people very quickly. I'm very good about that. And we're very awesome at our customer service. So Yeah, but that's the best way to reach me. And thanks so much. Thank you so much. It was really nice of you, and I'm happy to be here. Anthony and I hope to be a compliment to your Yosemite National Park wedding, elopement, or engagement photo shoot. We look forward to hearing from you.